Hi, I'm Charles Alexander at Chax Press. I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, and I have asked to join me in this section of this marvelous reading that is so necessary, for which I thank Ghazal and Vince and everyone who has anything to do with it. But I've asked Ethelbert Miller, Daphne Marlatt, Stephen Salmoni, Tenny Nathanson, David Wilk, and Joseph Leese to read with me in this section. And each of them are either recent poets Chax Press has published or forthcoming poets Chax Press will publish, and all are also just very good friends. So I welcome them and all of you. And I'm going to start this out and read something from the book Time Being, and then turn it over to my friends. Neoliberalism may be a dead horse, but its foal are manifest and meandering. The top of the pot has blown off to release a searing steam, uncaring, unfettered. Love is perhaps like hair follicles in short supply when any filter between the ever hotter sun and the collective dome of our head would be welcome. The brain boils in absence of that quality. Fox in its hole, cat in its box, priest in his closet, we in our Zoom box, God in his heaven, all's right with the world. Hang it all. Plutarch is an oligarch on Noah's Ark in Central Park. Horace doesn't bore us, and Ovid can't catch Covid. Browning may be frowning while Soshu is drowning. Inanna comes crowning. We read at random the world as our disease, because it is, and our dis-ease, because we are. The company of poets. No words needed today. Some words have not yet been found, and we suffer alone and in the language. Free the wandering syllable, frozen thought, forgotten solution. Cold with no language shared, we warm the space together. We are the battered, who, the undone, and what remains. Tied in a knot that dissipates with tea and sitting, tied in a knot that stays a knot. Today is not the day. Rain falls again in a desert town. No line, no time. One divided by one does not speak well of the mathematics of wall. Incendiary words or letters or maybe just phonemes. Who says words do not burn? Have you seen the red world? Red world, not a bang, yes, a bang and an electric band along a former wall. Maybe and maybe and maybe not, but who gets to decide? Thank you.
I'm going to read the Gaza Suite, and this is 25 haiku poems. That's a complete section of the haiku suite, Gaza Suite. 13 of these poems appear in the November issue of Poetry Magazine. The Gaza Suite is dedicated to 5 women who are very dear friends of mine. Naomi Shihab Nye, Anan Amari, Zaina Azam, Nora Arakat, and Hind Shavani. This is the Gaza Suite. Gaza at daybreak, dogs sniff among the ruins. The graves are multiplying. Winter in Gaza. Stiff bodies cover the earth. Tents embrace the wind. Midnight in Gaza. Hundreds of drones buzz like bees. All the flowers gone. Moon over Gaza. Clouds of death darken the sky. Olive trees are gone. No water to drink. We are fish without blankets. Where is the ceasefire? The sea is still here. Peace disappears once again. Boats die in the sun. Bodies wrapped in cloth. How many children have died? Life is a black wing. Poems with bullet holes. Every word is a witness. No more love sonnets. The seeds have stories. Oh, red, ripe watermelon, so sweet this earth was. Some cry genocide, the sound of one hand clapping, so silent the world. Planting trees today, clear the ruin and rubble, find the mourning dove. Darwish walks with me. He carries a butterfly just for you to love. Gaza is our home. Above the sky, a bird lives. Trees still have branches. Thank you.
My name is Daphne Marlatt, and I'm going to read 2 short poems for Gaza. Not to conceal harm. This amber glow, this topaz leaf light, stark against dark trunk, no longer silver under cloud cover, cloud blankets. Harm, harm there. In storm swamp tents, rubble, rubble, thin kid arms pry up, helpless toss. White gull crowd lifts, cries, soars, resettles green space here. Al Jazeera covers there. No hospice, no hospital, scant food, scant help, no way to heal those left generations down their bombed out streets. And this one, terroir, terror. Sea still heaves, memory's empty waste. Sand in its lonesome expanse. What if so little else lies unrubbled in Gaza? Rivers still run, so they say, while shatter exists in open air medical aid. To count the ones left once familial. Who could bear such aloneness? Thank you.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Charles, for having us. This is called Elegy. We may begin again from the other hand, an elaborate crossing of branches, sustained as any unmeasured writing is, without reference to the admissible present. It has been called a fact the sunlight grows like a new specimen, and yet even the crudest light must insist upon the rule, both in fact and in reason, in order to ensure lucidity. We may begin where the forms themselves are fleeing, are also falling to the ground, or at least I thought that I'd seen them fall, as if to complete the pale multiples of the maze. Falling to the ground, one is already on the ground, and now we know from height. Now we know how things descend from height, and how the ground may otherwise neglect its qualities, and how you are thought to be high atop the canopy of trees. We may begin and thus become resigned, although I rarely match the shape of things. And yet, I've thought how this means to say everything against what it means to say everything. The earth falls, and the slope that is drawn upon the ground belongs to the ground which isn't. The point of view changes, reverberates within the ground, but this isn't anything but its absolution. For the first drawback is not being somehow, to be given leave and yet to not be given the road, come upon the loss of the road. This is to say, our things, that they may be clouds, the corona's note in the shadow of the sky, and my own things, this child's things, and how they may escape me. It is in pursuit of a case that we can't yet test, and that we went looking for reasons such as these, in search of the first act, the second act, the whole, to have our means appear, to discover where such means impart the end. And I said to myself, this is otherwise. This is the noose of gleaning. And as I said it, as I said the why and the how, it was our own to mean. Ere some offer should be the verb, to say the angstrom's wind exfoliate cloud, to say this person resembles air, the good lies within yourself. Admittedly, these ways of autumn, the additional constraint in the lessening days, the sentiments of speech are hard, the law, the fallen leaves, and how not to cry. A southwest line, somebody said, a force of creation, seen as the weather only shook this line's expression. I laughed, and as I entered, the earth falling back and forth. This decision is just, I wanted to laugh. See the ground and fall to the ground, but the reasons given are false. And once broached, what it has must divide it. There's another word, too, when speaking. The distinction lies in its passing. What are we to do? To fail, and fail to the ground, not to fall, because there is itself not a constant, but to fail, and to have failed already. What should be said is that beauty is reluctant to give upon itself. Failing to fall, I almost fall. And all of you are waiting. I beg someone to lead, but like my sisters, my brothers, in the columns of the soil, this request is all too familiar. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tenny Nathanson. I'm honored to be here and grateful to Charles for inviting me to join the Chax reading. I'm going to read a brief stretch of a manuscript in progress. Winter dark bleeds through cleared skies, thistledown blown downwind, river swells rake cloud and snow, tear 10,000 frontiers. Yesterday, dark enigma left fallen black dragon teeth, alone city wall. The 38-page prospectus seen by the Washington Post envisions at least a temporary relocation of all of Gaza's more than 2 million population, either through what it calls voluntary departures to another country or into restricted, secured zones inside the enclave during reconstruction. Those who own land would be offered a digital token by the trust in exchange for rights to redevelop their property to be used to finance a new life elsewhere, or eventually redeemed for an apartment in one of 6 to 8 new AI-powered smart cities to be built in Gaza. Each Palestinian who chooses to leave would be given a $5,000 cash payment and subsidies to cover 4 years of rent elsewhere, as well as a year of food. The plan estimates that every individual departure from Gaza would save the trust $23,000, compared with the cost of temporary housing and what it calls life support services in the secure zones for those who stay. Called the Gaza Reconstruction Economic Acceleration and Transformation Trust, or Great Trust, the proposal was developed by some of the same Israelis who created and set in motion the U.S. and Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, now distributing food inside the enclave. Major elements of it were specifically designed to make real the president's vision of a Riviera of the Middle East. Perhaps most appealing, it purports to require no U.S. government funding and offers significant profit to investors. Calculations included in the plan envision a nearly fourfold return on a $100 billion investment after 10 years, with ongoing self-generating revenue streams. Some elements of the proposal were first reported by the Financial Times. When he returned to the theme as president, it was mostly to talk about how he would employ his property developer skills once the Gazans were gone. I looked at a picture of Gaza. It's like a massive demolition site. It's got to be rebuilt in a different way. Gaza, he said, was a phenomenal location. On the sea, the best weather. Everything's good. Some beautiful things can be done with it. The United States will take over the Gaza Strip. Describing a long-term ownership position, he added that everyone he had spoken to about it loves the idea. They've wanted a ballroom for more than 150 years, but there's never been a president that was good at ballrooms. I'm good at building things, and we're going to build quickly and on time. Yesterday's winter dark bleeds through feathered skies, thistledown blown downwind, the shoreline raked by river swells, yellow sand trailed out half fallen away in dusk. The 10,000 things, cloud, snow, ash silver mountains, dragon's wild black roar for a deaf ear. Today, for miles across this cleared Southland frontier, old family villages, enigma, no one seen, no one come, tears, fallen, alone city wall. Thank you.
I'm David Wilk. I'm honored to be here, and thank you, Charles and Chax Press, for having me. I'm going to read 4 short poems. Prayer for the Ghosts of the Lost City. Sentient beings depart Earth in gray dawn, homeless doves seeking shelter, moon shudders, a dark balloon in space. We are passengers on a long journey to a new home. What remains will never be forgotten. What we leave behind us, long-lost songs in the dirt-filled air, singing prayers for the ghosts and elders. Song for Anselm. While you were not looking, someone took your place in line. You ambled out for a drink and lost track of time. Inevitably, you felt betrayed, and now the magic tales you told seem lost without you. In your dream garden, someone else tends your plants and pretends not to miss you. Your hands in motion, your untethered sense of humor. Sometimes we caught you glancing at the sun when you thought no one could see. Now we're here and wondering, where are you? Are you getting enough to eat and read? Can you still dance? Will the moon allow us one more brief twirl around the block? The stars are watching us, but we don't care. I'm standing here waiting for another song to sing. Yours or someone else who looks like you. Will you catch me before I fall? The news of your passing. Hearing the news of your passing, I buried your heart in the ground, a waning moon overhead. When you were living, every star in the sky knew your name. They call out for you to live again. I hold your memory inside my breath. The sky is purple. Come home. Come home. You are home. You are home. And this is Our Lives for Daphne Marlett. Give me a story or a book, a trundle, a tranche, a life, an aspect, a form of being, a motion, an emotion, a trip across the ocean, a likely story, an ending, an afterthought, a burgeoning faith, a wraith, a truss, a watchful eye, a form of music, a cleft, a parenthetic, an establishment, a notion, a song, a bird's life, a hummingbird's beak, a swing set, a sunset, an empty set, a null field, a sleep sign, a seraph, a point in time, an exhausted beast, a truthful sorrow, a ball of string, an eaglet, a swollen heart, a ring, a ladder, a soft toss, a room, a bloom, a sorrow, a plan, a star. How could this become absolution? Physics, stolen moments, good speech, breath, song, stillbirth, all in all, all in all, and all in all. Will we remember how we got here? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Joseph Leese. I'm very grateful to be able to be part of this reading. Thanks, of course, to Charles for including me. I see that it's 6:28, so I'm going to read one poem called The Story. The Story. Sheep in charred tangles, rivers boil, eyes boil. My name is I Want It. Soul of bullets, soul of cash. The blue whales go silent. Eyes boil, rivers boil. The sky is fire. Shed your skin. Sheep in charred tangles. I'm dancing. I'm breathing. I'm praying. I'm nothing. Thank you.